And today we are wrapping up our week-long conversations with the top candidates running for Los Angeles mayor. We're doing it with the incumbent and the front-runner in the race, Mayor Karen Bass. She is running for a second term, and she is talking about what she has accomplished while in office and what she wants to do with another 4 years. So let's go over to our political reporter, Josh Haskell, with another conversation. Josh.
Philip, thank you so much. We have incumbent Mayor of Los Angeles, Karen Bass, here. She is running for re-election. Thank you so much for joining us. Mayor, let's get right into it.
Sure.
When I interviewed you at the one-year anniversary of the Palisades fire, you told me that you were a little surprised that so much of the anger about the fire is still directed solely at you. And it seems like that anger has now encompassed other problems facing the city: homelessness, Hollywood production, crime, all directed at you. How do you convince such an angry electorate that you deserve 4 more years?
Well, first of all, it's super important that I explain about the accomplishments that have been done. The fact that homelessness is down 17.5%, 2 years in a row. It's the first time we've seen a decline in street homelessness. Around the country, homelessness went up 18%. Crime is down. 60-year low in terms of our homicide rate. We go through spikes here and there, and when we do, we respond aggressively. But also the alternatives so that you don't always have to have a police officer. Increasing the hiring of police. Building 42,000 units of affordable housing, because we know that the #1 issue in our city was 4 years ago, and it is today, is affordability. The part that we can control in the city is the cost of housing. And all of that has taken place under my watch. I want to make sure that we can move forward and complete what we started and prepare our city for a very successful games, which I know we will have.
On homelessness, I know that street homelessness is down, but roughly 40% of those who have gone through Inside Safe have ended up back on the street. What is being done to address that?
Well, first of all, the #1 thing that has been lacking is the services. So once we get people off the street, making sure that we address why they fell on the street to begin with. Josh, 60% of the people at Inside Safe have remained housed. I think it's really important to build on that success. But what LA needs to do in the next 4 years that I plan to accomplish is building out a more cost-effective system to deal with people when they get off the street and not put them into permanent housing immediately. You can't go from a tent into an apartment and expect to function on your own.
Also on homelessness, at the pantry earlier this week, you were talking about comprehensive health care for the unhoused. And you talked about how many of the unhoused, because of their meth use, lose their teeth.
That's right.
Who would pay for the dental care for the unhoused?
When I say comprehensive health care, it's actually what people can get from Medi-Cal. The problem is that the linkage isn't made with the people and the services.
So
and
that would be
that
taxpayers?
System, well, we already pay for it. It's already paid for. It's the linkage that hasn't happened.
The reaction to that, though, was, why isn't the mayor doing more to address the meth use in the first place? What are you doing to address the drug use so we don't have to pay for dental care?
And let me just, 100%, let me just tell you that when I came in, we started, even though it is not the city's role to provide health care, it is the county. That was not enough for me. I said we have to provide it ourselves. So we took lawsuit money from tobacco and we established contracts with drug-related organizations, substance abuse organizations. And so some of those people we can refer to a drug treatment program. The issue with dental is that you want people to be productive. You want them to have a job. You want them to no longer need public assistance. So while someone is in interim housing waiting for permanent housing, let's us help them get their act together so they will be successful and down the line will not need public assistance at all.
Is the current size and hiring rate of the LAPD sustainable?
No, well, the current size, no. We need to have more police officers because for Los Angeles, we have a relatively small department. And you know what? You're going to pay one way or another. You're going to pay an overtime cost, and you're certainly going to pay in a compromise of quality of life of individuals who say the police don't respond. And here we have the games coming up. You know, we had a couple of spikes. We had some robberies in the valley, and we aggressively responded to that. And when those spikes have occurred, we have been able to eliminate the cause, meaning catch the people that are involved in crime. So we need to continue to grow our police department. But one thing we cannot do is allow the department to shrink any further. And hopefully the city council will approve the money that was put in the budget to hire police officers.
Let's talk about that. So much
Sure.
of your strategy getting things done at City Hall has been this idea of locked arms.
Yes, and collaborate.
But especially lately, there's been a number of instances where members of the City Council have voted against some of your proposals.
Right.
And some City Council members won't even enforce 4118. Are you reaching a point where you sort of have to go at it your own, or you're growing more and more frustrated with the fact that the City Council is just not always endorsing what you want to do?
No, well, first of all, that's our democratic process. But let me just explain that I feel in general I work very well with the council members. Of course, we have differences. And of course, to get something done, if I need to work around them, you better believe it. But I don't think that that's going to happen this time in the budget. I think the council realizes that we cannot save money based on the back of our public safety. We cannot compromise public safety.
Why do you think someone like reality TV star Spencer Pratt is doing well in this race?
Oh, I think he's tapping into the anger and frustration that people have. I think he's doing that. But I think we're a celebrity-driven culture. The fact of the matter is, though, is that I've been on the job addressing the concerns of Angelenos. Streetlights has been a major challenge. For years and years, we just kept replacing copper lights, even though we knew the copper would be stolen. And so I rolled out establishing and installing 60,000 copper lights. As a matter of fact, I'll be doing that later on today. So why would we continue to replace copper with copper? Solar, we meet our environmental goals, plus there's nothing to steal. We're installing these lights, several hundred over each month.
Do you think that Spencer Pratt knows what it takes to run the second largest city?
I don't think he has a clue.
A clue about what?
How to run the nation's second largest city.
And why are some Democrats supporting him?
Well, I mean, we'll see. The election is, ends on June 2nd. We will see. But I will tell you that we started a job. I want to be able to finish this job because we should not have street homelessness in the nation's second largest city. We made some bad decisions a couple of decades ago. Those need to be rectified. We need to get people off the street, and I know how to do that. We have been doing that.
There's an idea that's been floated about homelessness, and Spencer Pratt actually mentioned this at a fundraiser recently, that he plans to build a massive campus for the homeless on the outskirts of LA, where he would move all the homeless that would be funded by a billionaire. Is that a good idea?
Well, anyway, let me just say that over the last 3.5 years, we know how to get people off the street. We understand the complexity of the problem. Josh, something that you may or may not know about me is that I worked at LA County's emergency room. My patients were homeless. This is an issue that I have worked on for a long time, and I've been so privileged over these last 3 years to actually be on the ground making a difference.
Last question, back to that anger component.
Yes.
Are there days that you feel like the electorate, the people of Los Angeles, that you as a mayor are misunderstood?
Oh, but yes, but on the other hand, I feel like I go throughout the city and receive love from all parts of the city, and that keeps me going. But you know what? I am doggedly determined to do a job, not just talk about it, not tell you about theories and plans and ideas, but deliver results. That's what we have been doing. I want to continue to do that for the next 3.5 years. And I believe that we can get the job done and prepare our city to welcome the world for the greatest games that have ever taken place.
Thank you so much for your time.
You're
appreciate
welcome.
you being here.
Sure.
We'll send it back to you, Philip.
Okay, Josh, Mayor Bass, thank you both very much. And as we head into the June primary, you can count on Eyewitness News to keep you updated. You can also find more information about the candidates in various races at abc7.com. It has been a wonderful week, and it was wonderful to actually hear some details on what's going on in the L.A. mayoral race.